So I'm going to show you what a good example is of like a good chinch bug environment. He says he has someone spraying it, but we'll see. But chinch bugs, it's not called a queen, but they have like these large females, and they lay a bunch of eggs, and they're real small. So see how this is kind of so you'll have like they get up in here. I mean, if we have some here, I mean, I should be able to see them, but they are small. They're like millimeters, okay? But they hide in like these folded areas right here. The nymphs do, okay? But they're real small, so, but you can see what happens to them when you can see what happens to a lawn when they have chinch bug. I wouldn't say this one's infested, but I would say that it has them. Okay, and so let's take a look at some of the signs. Okay, and I'm going to take you to a healthy part of the lawn, and then I'm going to show you this one. Okay, so right here you have St. Augustine grass. Right, notice the hay there. Okay, so that's where like the larval stage, like the nymph stage of chinch bugs lives. Okay, so this is kind of an unhealthy part of the lawn. It doesn't really his water doesn't hit over here, so you've got a lot of death. And this is with St. Augustine. Okay, so here's some hay here. So when that stuff gets wet, it's very conducive to hatching the eggs. Okay, and they're real small, and everyone, and it's a multi-year process that these things. Here, this is kind of a thick lawn, but if you dig deep enough, you get the hay down there, and that gets wet and stays wet, and you start having chinch bugs, and then you start having a weed problem. So this is this definitely needs chinch bug treatment. Now with Bermuda, it doesn't kill Bermuda, so here's some Bermuda. Okay, what it does, it doesn't kill it in its entirety like it does St. Augustine. So Bermuda will die up until a certain point, and then the dead end will just decay, and then it'll continue to grow, or it'll go dormant because of stress. So that's the deal with chinch bugs. See, like here's some more, like this hay. It gets wet and it incubates the eggs, and and that's how you develop a chinch bug problem. The problem with chinch bugs is they prefer they prefer to have native grasses and weeds, because that's an ongoing food source for them. Okay, exotics like Bermuda and St. Augustine, well, especially St. Augustine, they bite into it and it kills it, and they have to wait for a new food source to grow. So weeds is indicative of see, it comes back. But this is all made possible for chinch bugs, with chinch bugs, weeds, and they're bad down here. And they only hatch when that thatch gets wet, and it like incubates like the eggs, because they got like they're not really a hive, but the females are like queen bees, you know, or something like that, right? And they're a lot bigger. They're like, I don't know, between a 1/16 and an 1/8 of an inch, the females, and then the chinch bugs are just a couple of millimeters in length. They're real small, and the nymphs are even smaller. So it's just, you can't see them. You can use a microscope. You can get like a can and cut off both ends and then cram it down in the grass in like an infected area. You probably have to do it a couple of times, and you fill it up full of water, and the chinch bugs will float to the top, and you'll see these little tiny bugs, little tiny legs, and they got like a stripe on the back. Sometimes it's white, red, I think pink too, or orange. But they're very distinct the way that they look, and if you just look up chinch bugs, it's spelled exactly how it sounds. You can see what they look like. So so chinch bugs is never like an overnight kill of a lawn. It kills like maybe half a decade, like 5 years. It's like a 5-year process, you know. And so people are like, well, my lawn's not getting enough water, and then they throw fertilizer, and the fertilizer encourages reproduction of them. So they're not a very nice critter as far as your lawn goes. Everyone's deceived. Well, I need this, and you know, and when you have chinch bugs and you start getting dead spots, the next thing it follows weed problems. So the chinch bug's very important to take care of, and you get like a pesticide that, like I used Tall Star on this lawn the other day, and I'm going to come back in 2 weeks, put down another application. It's like sand. You can get it in liquid too, but and then you go I'll put another load 2 weeks, and then I'll hit it once a month until fall, because chinch bugs don't like, I mean, they move like within a 6-inch area because they're so small. They just, you know, and then when they like feed out that area, they go and move on until like some weeds grow back, and they can like start munching on the weeds. I think they prefer the native weeds as opposed to the exotic grasses, because they kill like St. Augustine grass, and they don't kill Bermuda, but they prune it, you know, because they bite into it, you know, and so some reason the poison of the chinch bug bite stops in, you know, in the runners, and it only kills like part of the runner, as like the St. Augustine, it kills the whole runner and maybe down into the root. So it has a different effect. The bites, you know, so it'll look pruning on a Bermuda lawn and stress it, and so it might send it into dormancy. Whereas in St. Augustine, it'll just slowly kill the lawn. And they only move 6 inches, and so it's really important for you just to kind of nail them with a pesticide. All right, well, I'm gonna get cutting this lawn. All right, buddy, there you go. I don't know how to get these things up. I tried a technique that I learned, but it didn't work. All right, there you go, buddy.